He started as a panelist on the first broadcast of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me nearly 30 years ago. Now, Peter Sagal is the host of the NPR show with over 5 million listeners on more than 700 stations.
And now he's here in Chicago with a special one-night-only event. Peter will share stories about his career offering life lessons to aspiring comedians and radio hosts. But first, Peter joins us here on Spotlight Chicago with more.
It's a pleasure to be here, but
thanks for being here.
I want my bonnet. You guys had the very colorful bonnets. I am in need of one far more than you. I know, it's true. Also, I love the way you introduced me, because it's like he was a panelist in the very first, edition, which is true. And then he said 30 years later, he's the host. Which makes it sound as like it's been 3 decades of savage climbing the public radio, ladder, backstabbing as I went. But actually, I became the host
pretty quickly.
Yeah, I pretty much went from panelist to host immediately back in May of 1998.
Because you were that good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my talent could not be denied. No, actually, the guy they had hired didn't work out, and I was kind of a battlefield promotion. It was sort of a desperate time. They were like, that guy, try him. And 26 years later, here I am talking to you.
The right place, right time, and the talent, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
My advice to young people who are aspiring to a career as glorious as mine is simply say, just stand there and somebody will eventually hand it to you through no effort of your own. It's worked for me.
I know this event tomorrow night, you're going to be talking with your good friend,
Chris Jones
from the Tribune.
Indeed.
But it almost sounds like it's a retrospective on your career, but it kind of is, but you're not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere.
She's like, is the job open?
No, exactly.
Can I take it?
Oh, no, because as you can imagine, everybody wants to be a public radio host. What I say about...
I'm joking. I'm being serious. Your job?
My job? It's a good job. But the thing is about being the host of a hit public radio show, it's a lot like being the Pope. In this way, it's a very, very hard job to get. But once you have it, the only way to lose it is to die. And sometimes not even then, you know what I mean? But no, it's an amazing gig. And to have done it for 26 years now is a really extraordinary privilege. I had no idea that this was my future when I said, sure, I'll try doing this silly little radio show. And now I am, for lack of a better word, a public radio institution. That's what it says on my dressing room door, anyway.
I mean, it's true, but you're also a pop culture icon. I mean, you've been in movies,
I have a very weird Wikipedia page, it's true.
I mean, your voice is very recognizable. Do you find yourself, you're out and about and people just recognize the voice before they even see your face?
That does not happen as much as sort of the reverse, which is I'm introduced to people and they just stare at me in just mouth open wonder, much as you are now. Maybe as some of your viewers are now, and they're like,
you're the one,
because they just can't believe that this voice that they've lived with for so many years comes from a face that looks like this.
Oh,
and I say, no,
very
it's true.
handsome
well,
face.
thank you. I am in radio for a reason. And I say to them, if you're a little disappointed that this is what I look like, imagine how I feel.
Oh, come on, get out.
No,
get out of here.
It's not,
I can't even imagine all of the people you've met throughout your career.
It is pretty extraordinary.
Has there ever been anybody who you've been nervous to meet
all
or super
the time.
excited? Or...
All the time. I mean, I've gotten used to it over the years, but when we first started, and we started getting, significantly well-known people, like say Tom Hanks was probably our first major celebrity. I mean, he's kind of a gimme because he's so nice. But we've had people on the air who I had looked up to or admired or thought of just as being like a star in the pantheon of heaven, and I'm just sort of chatting with them. We've had 2 presidents in the show: Barack Obama before he was president, Bill Clinton after he was president, which was a little dicey because our show launched at just about the same time what we call the Lewinsky scandal broke.
Oh, wow.
Which isn't a fair title for it, but let's move on. And we just made fun of him for a solid 6 months. That was like our main food supply as we got the show.
And he agreed to come on?
And he agreed, and my first question to him when he joined us was, have you ever listened to the show? And thank goodness he said no. I was so relieved. But, and yeah, recently I talked to Secretary Hillary Clinton, who maybe would have been president if I hadn't found this old monkey's paw in 2015 and wished on it that we could have a president with different material. Classical literary reference there.
Yes.
So no, it has been, we've talked to Nobel Prize winners, we've talked to movie stars, we've talked to a lot of wonderful people who should be more well known than they are. Like fans of my show might remember the large animal veterinarian Kevin Fitzgerald from Colorado, which was one of our great all-time interviews. It's really been I'll tell you, that has been a privilege. It's just been amazing to talk to all these people. And it's also been an actual privilege that I've been on the air so long that people have literally grown up with us.
Yeah.
People will come to the show, they're adults, and they say, oh, this is my dad. When I was a little girl, we used to listen to your show together, and now for his 60th or 65th birthday, I'm bringing him here as a present. And I can't tell you how strange and kind of thrilling that is to know that for better or for worse, as people have lived their lives all over this country, I have been in the background providing them with fart jokes.
And the show is
More
often
than fart jokes,
Yeah.
might I add.
Yes.
Yeah.
The show is often filmed in Chicago.
No, the
started
show
here.
was started here in
Yeah.
Chicago at WBZ. It is still based here in Chicago. We tape the show most weeks at the Studebaker Theater, beautifully renovated theater in the Fine Arts Building downtown on Michigan Avenue. Anybody can come. And then, of course, we take it on the road. Next week, for example, we're going to Wolf Trap, that magnificent outdoor venue outside Washington, D.C., where we've sold it out.
Wow.
People like the show. Last night at our taping, we had a gentleman who had brought his long-term girlfriend to the show as a present from Boston, and then at the end of the show proposed to her in front of everybody.
Wow.
And the fact that people want to do that with
You
us,
are bringing people together.
I am. In fact, I have met people who say they've had children after meeting at our show.
Wow.
And so I've actually helped to produce human beings.
Wow, talk about an icon. Listen, we wanted to find out
That in the bio.
Yes, I shall.
the secrets to your success and your greatest life lessons, but you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to go to an evening with Peter Sagal. That's what you're going to have to do, because that's tomorrow at the Athenaeum Center.
Yes, Athenaeum Center.
Yes.
We've practiced that.
Yeah, we
Athenaeum
sure
Center.
did. For tickets and more information, just head to athenaeumcenter.org.
But you're not going to get away that easy.
No,
No.
you're not.
I
we
never
wanted
do.
to play our own little version of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. We're going to call it a little something different, though.
Yeah.
G, what's it called?
It's called Hold On, I've almost got it. Did you like that?
That was better.
All
That was
right,
better.
all right. Okay, so here we go. Fill in the blank.
Yes.
All right, you ready for this,
Yeah,
Peter?
I'm absolutely ready.
A woman was living behind a supermarket's rooftop sign in Midland, Michigan. Now, the woman had been nicknamed the Roof Ninja and had set up her living quarters with a mini desk, flooring, a pantry of food, a printer, and even a houseplant. Before coming down from her rooftop makeshift home, she warned the officers she had a blank, but it had not been used. She had a blank,
But it had not been used.
but it had not been used. She was
Well-
living behind a grocery store sign on the roof for a long time.
I'm kind of amazed that we didn't get this on our show, because this is where we live, and there's people living behind grocery store signs. A blank that had not been used. I was going to say grenade, but if a grenade had been used, it'd be pretty obvious because it wasn't there. So,
Final answer?
final answer. I really have no idea. I'm going to say I don't know.
Did we just
No, wait a
dump?
minute. I have to come up with something.
Come on, Peter.
Before she came down, she told them that she had
Blank that had not been used.
a
We're going to run out of time.
I know. A firework.
A firework. Okay. Wrong answer.
knew
It was a sword. When asked how long she'd been living there, she said about a year, according to USA Today. This was back in May, and apparently the manager was being super cool about the whole thing, and officers added the sign was very clean and the living space smelled like garlic.
And she had a sword. And she had a
Yes.
desk.
Yeah, desk
So she
flooring.
sat there and she did her
All
office
sorts of
work. She
things.
did her paperwork
She
With
lived
the
up
sword.
there.
with a sword.
There you go.
You never
And
know.
people would come up to the roof and she'd be right there. We'll be at the end of a minute. We just got to
exactly.
finish this.
There you go.
Email.
And
That's-
a printer.
There you go.
There you go.
What I love about this is your show doesn't focus on the hard news of the day. It's this kind of
It
news,
is.
and it's fantastic.
I'm going to have a talk with our researchers because they should have
this.
protected me from this surprise.
The next question is a multiple choice question. Are
Okay.
you ready for this one?
I am.
Which of the following did not happen in real life? First up, A. The Ohio Supreme Court ruled that consumers cannot expect chicken wings as advertised as boneless to actually be free of bones. B, the United Coconut Association of the Philippines has reported a boost in sales of raw coconut and palm oil industry profits due to the popularity of coconut trees, post detractors and supporters, both using the Harris viral meme on social media. Or C, a smaller version of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile got into a pickle on a Chicago highway after losing control and hitting another vehicle and overcorrecting, causing it to roll over onto its side. It was reported all hot doggers were safe and sound and no ketchup Chicago was recovered from the vehicle?
Can you look at my face and see how smug I'm feeling?
You know the
because
answer.
I do know the answer because the first one we covered on the show, the boneless chicken wings lawsuit, and the third one I think I saw perhaps on WGN television.
You probably
so it's
did.
got to be the middle one. And
Hey, that is correct.
I won't be surprised if that happens, but there hasn't been enough time for it yet.
Right,
There
we're
you
still waiting
go.
for it to happen. As you mentioned, the others have both happened. So there you go.
There you go.
Nicely done.
Absolutely. Okay, here's your last quiz question, Peter. What was recently shipped as a return to an Amazon facility? Was it A, Madagascar hissing cockroaches, B, a live pet cat, or C, a customized name 14-karat gold necklace?
What was recently returned?
To Amazon. This really happened in real life. One of those items was returned to an Amazon packing facility, return facility.
Once again, we had covered the fact that you can buy hissing cockroaches on Amazon, but we didn't know that somebody had received the hissing cockroaches and said, you know what, they just don't fit with my decor after all, and sent them back. So I'm guessing that one.
Was it A?
I'm guessing A, the hissing cockroaches?
Actually, no, it was B. It
No.
was the cat.
Really?
Yes, a
Oh,
real
I remember this.
live
I'm a
cat
fool.
Was accidentally shipped
Accidentally.
with an Amazon return from Utah all the way to a facility in California. The owners didn't realize their cat Galena was hiding inside a packed box of shoes they were returning. Galena the cat was trapped in the box with Amazon returns for 6 days without food and water. She was found 650 miles away from home due to her microchip being scanned.
I feel bad. We know what happened? I got the
What
second one
happened?
right. I got the second one right and I got cocky.
sure
Absolutely
did.
a downfall.
Yes.
Hubris.
Yes.
That is an
Because
absolute sin.
I read on the Amazon website you cannot return the Madagascar hissing cockroaches.
You
if
checked that out?
Yes.
Oh, once you get them,
Responsible
they're
journalist
yours.
that you are. Or
you
were you
go.
just thinking of buying yourself some hissing cockroaches just to see? Just to see.
If you need a fact checker, if you need a writer,
There you are.
she's available.
Wow. I guess I
You
didn't.
did
You know,
great.
it's funny. I did not know that about the non-return policy and the hissing cockroaches. I gotta
How
see
many
if
did you buy?
I got to see if I can cancel it. Can I get my
Got
phone back?
6 in the order form right now.
Oh man.
Thank you so much for being here. We
Amazing.
appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.